Hey guys, welcome back to the Orange Den Garage. WYATT speaking. Welcome to 2020, everybody. Happy New Year. This is gonna be our first video for 2020. Today, I'm about to do an oil change on my dad's 2015 Chrysler 200. First time I've done an oil change on one of these, so we're gonna learn together. So let's, without further ado, I'm gonna give you a little show of the car, and then we're gonna get started on the oil change. Thank you guys for watching and welcome to 2020. Happy New Year. All right guys, so here's my dad's 2015 Chrysler 200. Very nice looking car, V6, all-wheel drive. Sounds really good. We started up, so I just want to give you guys a little glimpse of it before we get started. This vehicle goes all the way until I believe 2018, so this oil change for the V6 model will help you from 2015 and above. So without further ado, we're about to get started on the oil change. Let's do this. All right guys, so we are now inside the shop where I work. Here's the engine bay of the 2015 Chrysler 200. You can remove this cover right here. You'll see you'll get access to the oil filter down there. I will let you guys know what size socket that is once I get to that point. But I'll just leave this off. You see it's a V6. Pretty nice looking engine bay. Definitely a large motor. It fits into the bay like a glove. But now I'm gonna go show you guys what the filter is. Here's the filter. It's a Mopar filter directly from Chrysler. The part number for this is M0-349 if you guys need a filter for one of these. It's a genuine part from Chrysler as is shown. Here goes a look at how the filter is. There is an O-ring that you have to remove and also replace when you put the new filter in. And it's like a paper cartridge that slides into the oil filter housing itself. So like I was saying, this vehicle takes 6 quarts of conventional oil. So without further ado, we're about to do the oil change. I'm gonna lift the vehicle up and we're gonna get started. Let's go. How's it going, Eric?
Well, clearly you got it on the blocks, huh? Let's check out this space right here. See if you did a good job. Gotta show the people how you lift this vehicle. Oh Jesus! Look at that! Look at that! Perfect. I don't know.
There's a lot of plastic underneath of here, guys.
Looks like Jesus Christ.
You got to be very careful when it comes to lifting the vehicle. You will crush the side skirts on it. This is the first time we're taking a look under here.
I don't doubt it. Look at the lift. It's definitely not made to be lifted on this way. Plastic touches the lift itself. That's not bad. I thought this was front wheel drive.
My dad said that last time he went to a Chrysler dealership that there was a differential leak, and I am seeing that here.
There you go.
There's a little bit there.
Yeah, it is.
It's coming. It looks like it's coming from the seal right here.
Should be. This is an axle seal, I'm guessing. This is not a diff leak. It's an axle leak.
Axle seal.
Axle seal leak. Whatever.
Rear diff axle seal. So this is a true all-wheel drive setup.
Oh, it's all-wheel drive.
Yes.
Why is the engine sideways then? Why isn't it just straight?
I don't know. Probably didn't have a whole lot of space to work with.
That's not bad.
It's pretty nice under here. But about to get started. I will let my dad know that that is an axle seal, not an actual diff leak. But let's do this. All right, guys. So we're about to get started doing the oil change on this 2015 Chrysler 200. There's an oil drain area that's a little shield right here that you remove to get access to the drain plug. I'm going to remove this cover here, and then I'll show you, let you know what size the actual drain plug is for the socket you need. But the first thing I have to do is remove this little screw here It has like an unlock mechanism. Just you gotta use a little flathead screwdriver and it should unloosen it. Let's see. Let me do it. There we go. And down it comes. It has a couple little tabs up here for when you guys have to put the cover back. Just make sure that you push the tabs back in there so that it firmly stays up inside this felt shield that's underneath the car. Just be careful trying to remove. Shouldn't be this difficult, I don't think. So here's the drain plug right here. Pretty simple. Aluminum oil pan. Pretty nice. Looks pretty nice under here. So I'm about to figure out what size this socket is and then we'll get back to it. So like I was thinking, most Mopar vehicles, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep vehicles use a size 13 for the drain plug. All right guys, so I got the oil bucket ready here. Make sure that you give yourself enough distance. It's hard to gauge when you're checking this. Sometimes it goes a little farther than you expect and you end up making a mess on the floor. So I'm gonna try to loosen this and see if I can keep it under control without making a mess on the floor. Wish me luck. Almost. Pretty long drain plug. I certainly hope this lands perfectly. Right, there goes a little drip from the oil. You guys can see, just take your time. Perfect. There we go, guys. Right into the bucket. Like I was saying, this takes 6 quarts of conventional oil. Chrysler recommends doing oil changes every 5,000 miles. So make sure that you do this every 5,000. As you can see, my dad's oil is a little bit dirty. He didn't realize that his car needed an oil change and it was down to 10%, and it never sent him a notification on the car. So I'm gonna have to, when we're done doing the oil change, see if I can reset his maintenance light and make sure that it actually does a notification for him. So I'm gonna have to look through the infotainment system and see how that goes. But I'll let you guys know when we get to that part of the video. When you have conventional oil, you want to make sure that you are very on top of your oil changes because you can do damage to your motor. So we're just gonna let this drain. We're gonna check over the rest of the car, make sure that his brakes are good. Let's see, brakes are looking good. Looks like you got it like an 8. Won't need any brakes anytime soon in the front. Let's take a look in the back. Brakes in the rear are looking, it's hard to get a good gauge on the brakes in the rear. Let's see if I can, it looks like it might be a little low back here. I'm gonna have to get a flashlight and check closer. It's hard to tell, just the normal lighting. Every vehicle, the calipers are a little bit different, so it's hard to get a good gauge sometimes. So you just gotta get some lighting to make sure. But the oil is now done draining. I'm gonna put the drain plug back. This Chrysler, I've noticed, there's no drain plug gasket. It's basically built into the drain plug itself. You see that little circular part near the threads? Like that's just built in and that stays there. So I'm just gonna put this back up into the oil pan and give it a torque. I'm gonna torque it to 30 PSI and make sure that it stays nice and snug. And then we're gonna continue on with the oil change. So let's just put this back. Give it a little start. Make sure that it goes on nice and flush. You don't want this to go in crooked. You don't want to cross thread this bolt. If you cross thread this bolt, you're gonna end up having to replace your entire oil pan. So please be careful putting the bolt back in. And if you cross thread, you're gonna be leaking oil everywhere. So I'm just gonna go grab my torque wrench now, which is right here. It's a snap-on tool, pretty handy. You can see you can adjust a little knob on the side here and put the torque at the right foot-pounds for whatever you're torquing, as long as like you're doing like a drain plug or any other bolts on the vehicle. Everything has its own specific torque spec, so that's how you adjust on this. If you guys are interested in one of these, let me know. I'll put the part number for Snap-on, which is right here in the description. So if you guys want to buy one, it's very, very handy. I use it every single day. So, all right. Last part right here, guys. You want to hear this make a nice click sound. That click sound means that it's tight, and that's the final step. Let's have to spray it down with some brake clean to make sure there's no residual oil left over, so there's no drips on his driveway or in his garage. And then we're gonna move on and drain out the oil filter itself, which is on top on the motor. So let's keep going. Like I said, I was gonna get a little flashlight to check his rear brakes. From this angle now with the light, his brakes are green. You can see the pad. I'll circle where the pad life is, so you guys have an idea. If you guys are trying to do brakes on a 2015 Chrysler 200 or above, you guys can get a gauge of where your brakes are at. They're definitely at an 8. So he's all set for brakes. But here's a closer look at the axle seal right here. That is leaking for the all-wheel drive system. If you just look at this side, everything is dry. It's nothing wet. But if you go on this side of the diff, you can see the buildup from the axle grease. It's all right here built up. It's all dirt that's attached, and it's dark on this side as well. So we're gonna keep moving on. All right, guys, so the other part that needs to be done now is putting on this cover, the oil drain cover, as Chrysler calls it. So there's 2 little tabs right there. Push that in, should slide in pretty easy. And then it snaps up. I just have to get the screwdriver back. Hold on a second. I grab that. Screwdriver back. Everything's nice and flat, flush, just like this. So I can do this, guys, for you. All right, so here's the screwdriver in the slot. Just give it a turn to the left, at least my left. There's a nice little turn, and then it's locked. It doesn't move, it's in there. It's good to go. Make sure that it's not moving around. But yeah, that's it. Just a little turn, and it's done. It's not going nowhere. Now we're going to lower down the vehicle. So there comes the 200 coming down. And as you see, we're almost finished with the oil change now. Set my dad's tire pressures. He was complaining about his passenger rear losing air. It's down to 34 right now. The rest are at 36, so that's not really that big of a deal. It seems like his tire is okay for now. Just got to keep an eye on it, see if the temperature, from temperature fluctuation, if it continues to go down or not, and then we'll test it at a further date and make sure that he doesn't have any air leaking from it. But right now, the PSI is at a good measurement. All right, guys, so I found out that it is a 24 millimeter socket. I'm using a 1/2-inch drive and my 1/2-inch drive ratchet with a 3-inch extension. It should work out pretty well. Or I might have to remove the whole engine cover, which I really don't want to do. But here we go. Get a little turn. It should turn pretty easy. There it goes. show you guys how the filter looks in a second and how the housing looks. But nice and easy. Remember that this housing is plastic, and if you turn it too hard, you will crack it, and then you'll have to buy a new one. There's no other way around it. There's no other type of filter for this, so you're gonna have to end up ordering a Chrysler part and replacing it, which could get pretty costly. So just be careful. All right, let's see. This style drains back into the motor, so there shouldn't be too much mess as far as oil mess when you remove it. So see what happens. There we go. Here it is, guys. This is how the filter looks. Has a little part on the top right here that actually makes a snap sound when you push it back into the aluminum housing in the motor. So you'll hear like a little click. If it doesn't pick it up on with the phone when I do it, I apologize for that, but I'll try my best to make sure that the sound shows up so you guys know that it is in there tight. There's also a gasket right here in the bottom thread of the housing that you have to replace as well. So I'm gonna come over here. Actually, you know what? Let's take this filter out. Sometimes these are a little tough to take out. Do a little twist, and then it should pull off. So let's see if I can get it while holding the camera. Nope. All right. I'll show you guys in a second. As you guys can see, here's the old filter outside of the housing. See how it's pretty dirty and clogged. Like I said, every 5,000 miles, replace your oil on this vehicle because it's conventional. Just got to remove that gasket. You just use like a little like pocket screwdriver or something like that to remove it, like this precision screwdriver, and it should come off pretty easy. I'm gonna bring over the new filter so you guys can compare like the color difference from a old used dirty filter to a new one. So here's the new one. See how it's like a goldish tan color? That's exactly how it's supposed to be, and over time that's how it gets. So these are just, they're paper, so they don't last forever. So make sure you do oil changes on a very strict basis every 5K. All right, so now I'm gonna take off the gasket and I'm gonna replace it with the new gasket. I'll show you guys what that is real quick if I come out of the box. It's right at the bottom of the box. All right, here's the box. Here's the new gasket. It's like rubbery. Now this one has hardened up over time. So I'm gonna try to remove this now, if I can get it on camera for you guys. Can't get it on my fingers, I'm gonna have to use the screwdriver to remove it. Let's see if I can get under there. Try to show you guys real quick. Hold on a second. All right guys, we're back. Now you can see how the gasket comes off. You see that bottom piece right there? That's where you want the new gasket to go. Don't put any other threads. It will cause a leak and cause you to think that something's extremely wrong with your car. You don't want to do that. So just be careful and make sure you put it in that bottom thread right there. So I'm just going to continue removing this off, and I'm going to put on the new one now. All right guys, so this is the new gasket here. I'm just putting a little bit of the old oil on it. There's a good rule of thumb to do. Put a little bit of oil on to it because if it makes it easier when you put it back together so that you don't break it or rip it. If you rip it or break it, you will have an oil leak. So just a little bit of lubrication to make sure that it actually seats right onto here. If you put it on there dry, it ends up getting destroyed. So let me see if I can do this one-handed. All right, so I started putting on the new O-ring. So the O-ring gasket, you can see I'm pushing my finger along it, making sure that it goes into this bottom thread of the housing. It's in there. It's like get a nice turn around, make sure it has a nice little amount of oil on there. It's not dry. That's all set now. Now I'm going to show you how to put the filter in. Just put it straight in and you push down and it should snap into place. That click sound that it just made, that means that it's perfectly in here. So I was talking about before. Now you just place it back into this housing down there. See if we can get a good angle at it. There it is. Give it a little turn. All set. I'm just gonna grab, 24 is right here. Make sure, of course, you put on the on switch, put it in there. Make sure that you have it on there flush so you don't strip that top nut that's on there. It's a plastic nut that you turn on. You just want to make sure that it's nice and snug. Make sure I clean up this residual here. My dad, I don't want to leave this oil anywhere, so I'm going to clean it up. But don't worry, Dad, it's going to get clean. But nice and snug. You see how the ratchet doesn't move? Just want a little tug like that. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Just wipe off that oil right there. There's the old filter again. Just grab this rag. Remove this excess oil. And it's all set. The filter portion of the oil change is complete now. Now we just have to put in the oil. And right here, like it says here, 520 conventional. Just remove this cap. One little turn, it comes off. Careful with it. It is plastic as well. Don't want to damage it, but that's where the oil drain goes into. I'm just going to put on this cover. See if it goes on easy. Hopefully it does. Or maybe not. Oh, there it goes. There you go. Quick little turn to the left, and it's done. Normally lefty-loosey for everything, but this car is a little different. It seems like everything left is tight. It's kind of weird. Not something I'm used to, so all right. Just grab the oil pump. Push it down for a second. Alright. Here's the pump into the oil filler area. Gonna turn it on. Reset this, make sure we got the right amount in there, and now we're just gonna let it fill up. Let's see, make sure, hold on a second. Nozzle on the end ended up returning itself, but here we go. You'll see it's filling up. Well, so guys, we're getting ready to wrap up this video. This car is very nice. I might give you a little exhaust clip before we're done so you guys can hear how angry it sounds. Just gonna have to leave the phone outside and play it while I'm inside. I don't have anybody else here with me to make this happen. So we're at the 2 quarts now. But like I said, pretty simple oil change. It takes 6 quarts of conventional 520 oil. The filter location is on the top, paper cartridge. Make sure that you always, that you just make everything snug with the plastic pieces on this vehicle, because if you turn too hard, you will break it. And yeah, drain plug, gasket. There's no drain plug gasket. It's built into the drain plug, so don't worry if you don't have one. It's built in. Another note, just make sure everything is nice and tight. Like, just don't go too far. We're just about to be done filling. Done. Don't forget to put your oil cap back. Don't want to make a mess. That's all done. Oh, here's one quick little glimpse of how the engine bay looks. Gonna lower down the hood now, and then we're gonna do a wrap up and hopefully get you an exhaust clip because it sounds really good. All right, guys. All right, guys, so I'm gonna show you how to reset the maintenance light on a 2015 Chrysler 200. There's arrows right here on the wheel. It has up and down buttons. You'll see a menu come up at the top of the screen where that west marker is for the compass. You want to go to vehicle, vehicle info, push that. You see that it comes up. You might have to scroll through, so I'll show you guys. There's some other menus on this as well. But you want this to land on the oil reset. Right here, you see it says 6%. It will light all the way back up to 100%. You just have to hold down the OK button on the wheel right here. Hold that down, give it a couple seconds, and it should switch up. There you go, 100%. So the first step that you have to do, you cannot have the vehicle actually started all the way up with the engine running. You just want this button, the push to start button. See how it says off, and then it's accessory. You want it to be in the run position to reset the light. So that's it for this part of the vehicle. The oil change is now complete. We're going to do a little wrap up, and thank you guys for watching. All right, guys, so I'm going to wash my dad's car for him real quick. I know he said he didn't really want it to be washed. You know, he was trying to save some time for me, but I'm gonna wash it for him anyway. It deserves a nice wash. I got a great oil change done by his son, you know. That's why I told him, give it to me, let me do the oil change. I got him. So this is going in the car wash, make this paint jump a little bit better. And yeah, so this about wraps up this video. Glad you guys watched it. You guys have a 2015 Chrysler 200. There's some pretty good information in this video overall. As far as like the all-wheel drive system, like notice that it has an axle leak on the driver's side rear axle for the axle seal itself, so that's going to have to get replaced. But it's not anything too major. It should be a pretty simple fix. But as a quick rundown, we did an oil change on this car. It takes 6 quarts of conventional 520 oil, so make sure that you do that. This car is recommended every 5,000 miles to get an oil change, so make sure that you actually do that. Yeah, the filter is located on the top of the motor, like you guys saw. So don't waste time underneath trying to find an oil filter, because that could happen. Like this is the V6 model, so I know this is how it's designed for the V6. 4-cylinder model might be a little bit different. I'm not sure. I've never did an oil change on one, so just be wary of that. This is for the V6 Chrysler 200 only for oil change. So thank you guys for watching. Welcome to the new year. 2020 is here. It's crazy saying 2020, but we are here, and like we always do here at the Orange Den Garage, make sure that you envision your dreams. You know, that's what we try to do, and there's so many more videos coming up. We're very ecstatic that we're into the new year, our first full year on YouTube. The first 2-3 months has been amazing. We've done car reviews. You guys want to see some more car reviews? Give us some options. Leave some comments down. Put some comments down in the bottom. Give us some ideas of what you guys want to see us review, and we'll definitely try to make it happen for you. Get in contact with some local dealerships and try to get these reviews done. If there's any maintenance videos that you want to see, let me know. I'll try to make it happen as well. And give me any questions. Like, I know a lot about Toyota products and Honda products, so if you guys have any questions, please leave comments in the bottom. But please, guys, please hit that subscribe button. It's going to be on the bottom right corner. Hit that subscribe button for future content. We really, really appreciate it if you guys do that. And make sure you hit the like button too, because that's what we do here. Like squad, baby. Go ahead, push the button, hit that like button, and yeah, let your friends know about the Orange Den Garage. We're just getting started, and we have so much more to do. We're so happy that with our fans that have given us so much support so far. Thank you guys for watching, and on to 2020. Let's do it. Thanks, guys, and good night.